Hello everybody and welcome again to Godric TV. Today we are bringing you the BladeMaster guide. Right, I want to put it out there right away before a lot of haters decide to come over and say this is not how you play BladeMaster. I want to say that this is how I've learned how to play BladeMaster. This is how I play BladeMaster. So if I'm wrong, I'm sorry. What I'm trying to do is get my knowledge out there about this game as much as I can and show you guys a little kind of interesting things in regards to BladeMaster and why BladeMaster is probably one of the strongest characters. I know I keep saying this about the classes, but BladeMaster is a very, very, very strong class. Regardless of the potential hate that I may well be getting, I just want to show it to you guys. You know, that's why I'm here. That's why I'm giving you guys the insight into these characters, just to give something a little bit back to the community, as Blade and Soul is an amazing game. So yeah, we're going to crack on finally. My rant has kind of been over right now. So to start off with, BladeMaster, I'm currently on China right now, but realistically the abilities that you're going to get on China, the abilities that we're actually going to get on NA and EU are relatively going to be the same. It's not going to be a massive difference. So the reason why I'm showing you guys this is to help your BladeMaster play when the game officially releases, and of course the closed beta access that we will be getting in 1 week, to be precise 9 days for the NA. So hopefully you guys enjoy this video. So we're going to start cracking on. So basically, as you see from the BladeMaster, these are generally your standard abilities. So let's quickly completely retrain all my abilities. Let's retrain everything. So we've got 34 abilities back again. So it's literally from scratch, right? So BladeMaster is probably renowned for their high damage, their move ability, their chain combos, their multiple stuns, their knockups. They are, as I said, I'm going to say it again, they are a strong class to play. Right. So ultimately, your first ability, which will come more apparent once you're like level 1, you will, well, not level 1, sorry, I think it's when you're level 4, you'll get this ability called Block. So basically, what Block does is that whenever a mob decides to hit you, you will deflect. You will take damage, it will hit you, well, you won't take any damage, it would literally just deflect the whole time. The reason why Block is so strong, and now I'm going to move on to the abilities. The reason why Block is so strong is that, as you can see, after a successful cast, accelerate thrust to max speed. What thrust is basically is this ability here. This is your right button. So if you hit RB, that's your RB ability. So basically, what that does, it's a thrust ability. It's very strong against bosses, but with this actual ability, if a mob was to hit me, if a mob was to just standardly stab me and hit me, it would increase my max speed on my right mouse button instantly. So instead of this charge up at the beginning, instead of the charge up, it will literally be instant. So you can do it absolutely instantly. There's no cooldown. So like stab, 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 stab. If you have a native ping, it's going to be even better. I mean, at the moment I'm on China. I've got about 160 ms. Ping makes a difference in Blade and Soul. So if you go around and decide to play a BladeMaster on official release, you will be attacking it a lot quicker than I am attacking. But ultimately, as I said, if a mob hits you whilst this is up, it's very strong because it not only does it regen your chi, also you can cast your thrust extremely quickly as well. But what we're going to do now is kind of go through why it's so strong. Okay. So as you can see, after a successful cast as well, it recovers 1 chi. So if you've got 10 mobs in front of you hitting you repeatedly, you're going to regen your whole chi bar instantly. So like, and your chi is going to be completely it's going to be completely maxed again. So it's worth. I mean, that's why BladeMasters are probably one of the strongest tanks, if not one of the only tanks. For tanks, you have for your main tanks and level. In regards to endgame content and stuff, you will be running BladeMasters, you will have BladeMasters in your party, and you will have Conquering Masters in your party. Those two are your main source of tank. Right. So next on this, we're going to be going into the kind of the specs. I mean, personally, I wouldn't spec these for PvP. I'm not really au fait with PvE. I'm just running through you guys in regards to the abilities and what to spec. And kind of what the abilities and stuff do. Not going to go into great detail as much as I did in regards to the Assassin. I do know a lot more about Assassin because that is my main class. But ultimately, I'm trying to give you guys a bit of an insight in regards to BladeMasters, why they're so strong, and why, if you enjoy this class, play the class. They will be needed end game. They are amazing. I'm not good at them, but they're amazing. I'm just going to leave it at that. So ultimately, I mean, you can kind of see here, blocks frontal attacks for 3 to 4 seconds, so that's going to increase it. Going down this tree, parries multiple casts, 0.5 seconds after cast. This also, if you stun them, has a chance to stun them, and again, increases the thrust speed and recovers chi. It is good, trust me, it works. Personally, I haven't tried this tree, so I don't know what it's like. I haven't really tried any trees in regards to block, but again, it's going to be down to you in what you want to use. Okay. We'll move on to the next ability. This is called Rush. Now, Rush is pretty standard in regards to melee. Generally, I mean, Blademaasters also have this as well, but generally every other class has a Rush. It's either called Rush or Charge, one of the two, but it's exactly the same. It does exactly what it says on the tin. It rushes to the mob. Simple. So it rushes in. So basically, it's a gap closer. Very strong gap closer. You will need it. As you can see, the cooldown is very short. You're looking at a 6-second cooldown. Right. A lot of people, especially in regards to PvP, will not use the standard rush. The main reason being, if you at least put 1 point into rush, okay, you're going to increase your movement speed by 30% for 8 seconds. That's a big difference, right? That makes a big difference. So even if you put 1 point in that in regards to PvP, that's gonna help you regardless. That is going to be awesome. So it's worth doing. Okay. In regards to going down this side of the tree, again, this is mainly going to be for your PvP. As you can see here, increase your movement speed, but the second one down, it gives you a stun. Not only has Blademaster's got so many stuns anyway, which will become more apparent throughout this guide, but you will see that you will see how many stuns they have, and you'll be like, oh, holy crap, they are a good class. They are so strong, honestly. They are a really, really good class. But again, it's a class that takes knowledge. That's the reason why I'm crap at it. It's a class that takes a lot of time. It's a class that, if you play it enough, honestly, you will destroy everyone. I can assure you, Blademasters are a very strong class. Don't underestimate them in arena. Definitely not. So, back onto the point again. As you can see here, we have the stun. You can spec it onto the stun here. Again, you can move down, and it disables movement skills for 6 seconds. So that basically means if you were to charge say on an assassin then can't use their 1, which is a gap closer as well. They can't get away from you. It's really strong. Like, even if you spec it down to this one, it's going to make a difference in PvP, especially against your little ratlins, or say your blade dancers, or your force master, or something like that. So that means that they cannot get away. They can't use their escapes. They can't use their movement skill abilities. So this is the reason why. It's very strong. Okay. Again, on the right side of the tree. Again, this is, in my opinion, this is better for. This is a lot better for PvE. The main reason being, again, it's another damage output. And also, not only is it a damage output, but it also does dot damage, which means damage over time. It's strong. So if you want to use something like that, I would recommend it if you're going down the PvE tree. It's a great ability. It's worth using. Yeah, just use it. Very strong. Very, very, very strong. Also, we're going to move on to the next ability. I'm going to literally go down this list. I apologise. I kind of went on to block and 2 straight away. I didn't really want to go around that way, but we're going to do it anyway. It's done. It's done. It's dusted. So this is your left mouse button. Everyone knows what a left mouse button does. It's on every class, you know. This is your standard attack. This regens your chi. It's fundamental to regen your chi. It's strong. Why wouldn't you use it, you know? But obviously there is added benefits should you want to spec it. So basically, again, you can see on here, it can deal additional damage. With the first one, you move down upon critical hit, recovers 1 additional chi. That's a big difference. On a stun groggy attack or phantom, it also crits, and upon crit, again, it recovers chi. So there's different kind of ways you can take it. I mean, if you wanted to farm, if you wanted to farm your Hongman book, you can. If you want to know about your Hongman books, I will be explaining that in another stream. Into another guide, which will be a short guide because it's relatively easy to explain. But obviously, if you don't know what you're doing, hopefully I can help you guys in regards to knowing what you have to do in regards to getting your Hongman skills. As you can see, they're all in this list here. But we're going to leave that for another day, alright? We're not going to go into that now because I don't want to bore you guys with it and get you confused in the classes, the Hongman skills and all that. So we'll keep it separate. So ultimately, if you're going to go down this tree, so you choose 1, 2, 3, i.e. for PvP, and then if you were going to do PvE and you're predominantly tanking, there is an ability here again for predominantly for tanking. So if you're doing your left mouse button, every time you hit a mob with your Gale, you will absorb 20% of the 20% of the damage's HP. So again, it's like self heals for yourself. It works. It's good. If you want to be tanking, this is kind of the way you want to go. Okay. I think we pretty much explained that. It's pretty good. So, next ability, I'm literally going to explain these abilities first. So the ones that we've got on our bars, we will be explaining first, because I don't want to confuse you guys with what I'm about to do. Okay, a lot of people, in regards to tab, personally, yeah, stay away from tab until you're like level 10 or 12, until you can use your blade stance, and I'll come on to that again in a second. So basically, this is your full moon slash. A lot of people do use this for PvP. I personally don't know why. I haven't really PvP'd much with a Blademaster, but I'm afraid I don't know why you would use it. I don't see many people using it in the current meta in regards to China. Even on NA, I never saw anyone use this tab ability. It's probably just me, but I don't see the point in using it. Again, it's high damage. It's very high damage, even if you put 3 points in it. As you can see, second point is 755 to 831. Third is 3,359 to 3,701. So again, it kind of makes sense. If you are going to go down the PvP tree, then you go onto the right side. Now, basically, what this does, it gives you another Groggy. A Groggy it's not a stun. It's a different version of a stun. It's a different version, basically. It basically incapacitates them in a nutshell. That's what it does. So if you want to go down the PvP tree, again, you would get this and actually use it for a Groggy. So again, it's something to trap your enemy. It's something to stop your enemy. Okay, it's relatively good, but I've never done it personally. As I said, I'm not massively au fait with Blademaster. Ultimately, that's pretty much full moon slash. It's quite strong. It's an AoE ability. If you want to go down that tree, it's your choice. So we'll move on to the next ability. Again, this is your tab. It's another tab skill. As I explained in my assassin video, what this is basically like a trinket on World of Warcraft. What it does, it gets you out of them sticky situations. It gets you out the stun. It gets you out the groggy. It gets you out the unconsciousness. You need this. Personally, I would always recommend putting at least 2 points into this. The main reason being, if you've got a Force Master or a Blade Dancer or something that's going to grab you and pick you up, that is called a phantom grab. Also a Kung Fu Master. If they're going to grab you, or a Destroyer is going to grab you, you're going to want to get out of that situation. Now, this is the reason why you'd have to put 2 points into this. Personally, I'd choose 2 points any day of the week. Only generally for PvP though. I wouldn't worry about PvE. The likelihood of a mob grabbing you in PvE is highly unlikely. So realistically, you only want to put 2 points into it if you are doing PvP. Don't worry about it any other way. Right, we'll move on to the next part. So, we're going to go on to 3, okay? 3 is pretty much the same as a Blade Dancer, which I will be making a guide of them because that is my main on China, so I will be going through that. But the reason why 3 is so strong is because, again, this class has got another knockdown. It's got another CC ability. So that means crowd control. If anyone is unsure of what CC actually means, I'm not trying to teach you to suck eggs. I'm just trying to help. But ultimately, again, it's a really strong ability. It's whether you want to put points into it. It's your choice. Personally, I would at least put 1 point into. No, sorry, I would at least put 2 points into there, because what that does, it increases your knockdown from 2 seconds to 3 seconds. That 1 second, that 1 extra second can mean even more damage for you. It's fundamental for me, and I'd recommend it. So definitely put 2 points into PvP. If you're going down the PvE side of the tree, you can see on the right side you've got the Earth Split. So what this does is basically AoE damage on the floor, and I'll show you what it does. It's a very strong ability, and it also just adds damage even more to your already awesome pool of skills that you've already got. So I'd definitely recommend speccing that if you were to use such a thing. Okay, before we go into kind of the other abilities, I want to show you something, guys. This is why Blademasters are very strong. Okay, they have 2 ways. They have 2 stances. You have your normal stance, and then you have your blade stance. Now, your blade stance is very strong. Oh, sorry, it's called draw stance. I do apologise. It's called draw stance. I'm thinking too much about blade dances. Ultimately, with your blade stance, it basically switches you from this normal mode where basically you can tank, etc. It's a very strong stance. I'm not saying it's bad, but I mean, if you're going to be a damaging, if you're going to be like a damaging Blademaster, you're not going to want to just sit there in this stance and expect to deal damage. You will not deal damage. I can assure you, you will not deal damage. It's not worth sitting in this tree. It's not worth, sitting in normal stance if you're expecting to do damage. So you want to get into you wanted to get into draw stance, and you say, how do we get into draw stance? You say, to get into draw stance, there's two ways. You have your number 4 ability, which is Thunder and Blade. Now, Thunder and Blade is a strong ability. It deals damage, instant damage, and yeah, it's very strong. But obviously, that carries a cooldown of 36 seconds. If you want to get into your draw stance quicker, you simply press Q. Okay, what Q does, if you're near a mob, it will basically teleport you around him. It will teleport right, like literally straight behind him, and it will put you in blade stance. So we'll do that now. Right, as you can see, I'm in blade stance. You can see that by the weapons changing and my abilities changing. So, literally, blade stance, you hit Q, and you're in blade stance. Whilst you're in blade stance, your left mouse button becomes an AoE. It's a very strong AoE at that, and I'll show you. It's not as quick as a blade dancer, but again, it's AoE, it's fundamental, it's good drills, man, honestly. It's a great ability, honestly, it's a great ability. The reason being, if you're pulling 4 or 5 mobs, you're not going to want to sit in this stance and just hit one mob at a time expecting to kill them quickly. You're going to want to hit Q, get into draw stance, and to be able to deal damage quickly. And it's worth it, trust me, it's very good. It's a very good stance. If you want to get out of the stance, you either wait till you're out of combat, or you press E. See what I did there? So you can press Q to get into the stance, and you can press E to get out of it. It's that simple. It's a great, great, great ability. I'll do it one more for you guys so you can see. Q, E. This is why I like blade dancers. They're clever. They're a very well designed character, and they're very strong. Okay, hopefully that explained the draw stance, because now what we're going to do is go into the draw stance abilities. So as you can see from here, personally, I would stick down this line of the tree. Okay, also the middle tree. The reason why you don't want to go into this right side, and I will kind of explain why. The reason being, personally, I would only use the draw stance for AoE, or if I want to get my damage in quick and brutally, I would literally stick down this tree. The reason why, I don't understand why people go down this side of the tree. It's okay for single target. As you can see, you put one in here, one in there, one in there, but all it does is increase attack speed, right? You don't want it. In my opinion, you do not want the increased attack speed. The main reason being is in this, if you do a crit hit, then you get Swift Blade, and it's available to use. Now, Swift Blade is, in my opinion, is worth it, because again, it's instant. Every time you crit, you can do a Swift Blade, and ultimately it does more damage than your standard blade draw. So again, it's more damage over time. Also, if you stick with this tree, if you crit, your critical hit rate is increased by 5% for 3 seconds. It's important. That's better than the attack speed. So yeah, you want to stick down this tree. You definitely want to stick down this side of the tree. I'm not just saying that to be a dick. If you go the right tree, you're going to gimp your damage, and it's going to ruin you. Personally, it's not worth going down that side of the tree. Okay, moving on. Cyclone. Unfortunately, I cannot show you what this ability does, but again, it's a very strong ability. Basically, if a mob hits you, you have your Cyclone ability. So if I was standing there, alright, let's learn what we've got so far. If I'm standing here tanking and a mob hits me, your left mouse button will turn into Cyclone. What Cyclone does, it does a spinning wheel, and it does damage, and also it incapacitates them, and it is really, really good. So basically, yeah, it's also very good. The main reason being, it accelerates your thrust to max speed again, so it's another way to get your thrust at max speed. So in my opinion, it's important. It's always important to put points in it as well. Not only will you get points from blocking, you will also get points from this, where you can recover 15 chi. On here it's chi instead of focus, ignore that. But ultimately you can recover your chi for 5 seconds. So what that does is, it's just going to be amazing, honestly. It's always worth putting points in this tree. Okay, next ability. Now this kind of gets rid of your thrust, because to use this, you need to use this in your draw stance, as we already explained on how to get in there. So personally, stay away from this side. It looks pretty, there's a lot of extras there, but it's not going to be as much damage if you stick to this. Honestly, this is going to be better for you, right? So we'll put two in here. The main reason why it's better for you, again, it gives you crit, but also upon critical hit decreases cooldown of Phantasmal Blade, which is this ability here. Reduce cooldown on this, again, it's more damage. It's going to be better for you. Stick to that tree. Stay away from this. It's going to give you a nosebleed. Do not go down that tree. So you want to put 2 points in there, and I'll show you what this does. Alright, so basically this is what it does. It's high damage, but this is where anti-cancel comes in. Alright, this is where the anti-cancel comes in. My casting speed may not seem very fast, but this is what the anti-cancel is, right? So you press Q, left mouse button, right mouse button, left mouse button, right mouse button, left, right, and basically you can do that over and over and over again, and what that does is a shed ton of damage. It's not AoE, but it's a shed ton of damage. So it's definitely worth sticking to that, alright? It's just really good. And if you're going to want to do a lot of damage, especially in the arena, you're going to want to do that. Honestly, it is godlike. As I said, I'm going to show you guys the other ability and different ways to get into Blade Stance. As soon as I get into Draw Stance, I'm going to use the Phantasmal Blade. What this basically does is it basically cuts through the mobs, and it's another AoE effect. What you can do is if you crit the mob, and you can keep that as standard, but if you crit the mob at least once, if you crit one of them, it means you can cast it again, so you can simultaneously go in and out of the mobs with F. If you have a better ping, it will be faster, but I'm going to show you what it does anyway. So basically, I'm going to hit Thundering Blade. What that's going to do is that's going to put me to Draw Stance. Whilst in Draw Stance, then you can kind of jump off the abilities from that, so then you can keep hitting F. So we'll do it now. So 4, as you can see, Phantasmal Blade. Okay, typical, I did not crit. Damn it, that was really annoying. Again, on here, it's kind of going to be up to you for PvE or PvP. Personally, if you want to go PvE, you'll go down the left side of the tree. I haven't tried this, but I know some people do use this for PvP. Repulse, basically it parries multiple attacks that deal damage. I don't understand the reasoning behind it. Someone else might have to explain on the guide below, but personally I wouldn't use that. Also, a lot of people use this. Again, it gets behind it kind of gets behind the enemy, because realistically I would go for this one for PvP. The reason why you wouldn't go on this one, you're not going to want to be doing Fing everywhere, and that's not me swearing, that's just literally using the ability F, going in and out of mobs. It's not going to be useful enough in my opinion. Not in and out of mobs, sorry, in and out of a PvP player. They're going to know what you're doing. They're like, what the fuck is this guy doing? Why does he spec like that? And probably just wreck you and give you a backhand. Right, so let's I'm going to spec my 4 quickly as well, so hopefully we can do the crit and show you guys what this is all about. So there we go. So we're going to do 4 and then hit F, and you will see that how much damage it can do. Ah, still no crit Reno, god damn it. Right, again, unfortunately that's on cooldown for 17 seconds, so what we're going to do is that we're going to go on to the next ability. So, but basically, if you crit, as soon as I do the Phantasmal Blade, if you crit, you can do it again. You go in and out of mobs. I think it's like either 3 or 4 times. It's very strong. Speccing it only makes it stronger, so it's worth doing. Okay, move on to the next ability. This is your Swallow Blade. Now, Swallow Blade is a very strong ability. The main reason being, personally, I would use it for PvP more than anything, because again, they get another knockdown. So if you put 3 points into this, your Z becomes a knockdown. It's strong. It's only a 24-second, and again, it's going to prevent people from hitting you. Therefore, it's OP and awesome. I love it. Also, you can go down this side of PvP as well. The main reason being, it can pull the enemy towards you. So if you throw your Z, it will hit the mob, it will bring them to you, then you can juggle them, do what you want, slam them to the ground. Happy days, it's all good fun. So again, it's a strong ability. Make sure you put points into it. Okay, let's go on to, let's try and do this Phantasmal Blade again. I'm eager. Okay, I did not even crit once. That was sucky. Okay. Crit, crit, crit. There we go! I can show you what it actually does now. So if you quick, turn around, your camera gets a bit more stiff, you press F, turn around again, F again, turn around, F again, and you can keep doing it. You can't do it forever, but you can do it at least three or four times. It's really strong and it's worth doing. Okay, next ability. As you can see, like, why is this free? I swear this one's free. This free is whilst you're in blade stance. Now, this free is really good for PvP and not PvP. So basically, if I put points into here, what this is going to do is that's going to stun the enemy and launch them into the air. So if you stun an enemy and then do your free, it's going to ping them in the air. You can do the juggles again, do your max damage. Everyone's happy. Rip life, basically. It's a really strong ability, so make sure you spec points into it, whether you're doing PvE or PvP. If you're going down the PvE side of things, personally I would stick down to the middle tree, because even when you're doing this damage, it will resist damage and status effects for 0.6 seconds. It's a good ability and it does a shed ton of damage, and I'll show you how much damage it does. So we'll go into this, hit your free, bang, 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 bang. Again, off that you can do your Phantasmal Blade. Like, if you can do your combos right, honestly, this class is a force to be reckoned with. Honestly, really, really, really strong. Okay, move on to the next ability. So we've got your X. What this does, basically, if an enemy's casting or doing an attack on you, and if you hit them, it will stun them. It's very strong. Also gives a bleeding stack as well. If you want to put points in it, obviously it's going to reduce the chi cost down from 2 to 1. It's very good. If you want to put an additional point into it, it's your choice. Ultimately, I wouldn't bother unless you're doing PvP and then you want to stick to this side of the tree where you get an additional knockdown. At the end of the day, it's only 2 points. It's going to be expensive. It's going to be expensive for Blademaster at level 45, because the builds that we're going to have is based on level 50 play. Obviously, we're not level 50, so we're going to have 5 points. We're going to have a 5-point reduction. So you're going to want to think to yourself, well, where should I put my points? That's going to be that will be down to you. Honestly, that will be down to you. This I wouldn't say is fundamental in regards to PvP, but it's an extra knockdown. So if you want to put points into it, go for it. It's going to be strong. The reason why we wouldn't go down this side of the tree, again, it's something else that increases your thrust instantly. Yeah, you already have enough things that increase your thrust to maximum. Personally, I don't think you need another one. Just saying. Again, this can be pretty strong. The reason why it's strong, again, because it's another groggy. If you put points into it, it's going to increase the groggy. It is worth doing. It depends if you want to use it, but again, this is cast in basic stance, as you can see here. It's just basically like a little shoulder barge. That's what it does. It's a groggy. It's awesome. Worth doing. So these next abilities, these come down to my Soul Blade Burst. What I'm going to show you on here, now Soul Blade Burst is very strong. Personally, I wouldn't go down the side of the tree. Don't ask me why. Just don't. If you want to maximize your damage, you'll go down this right tree. The main reason being, this damage right here will blow your socks off. It is insane. If you can get an enemy to stay in there, it will do so much damage. I swear to God, it is insane. I'm going to have to show you this quite quick, so if you need to watch this part of the video back, just rewind it and watch it, because I'm going to explain it quite quickly. But basically, this V damage will drop a big AoE around the mobs. Within the AoE, a lightning attack will completely come out. As soon as it hits maximum, it will hit lightning down onto the target. Whilst it hits lightning down on the target, it will deal near enough 10k's worth of damage onto the mob. So it's very strong. The next ability, because basically when you hit V, it will put you into another stance. So all your bottom bars here will put you into a different stance. You will see all these abilities here will be completely different, and that's what I'm about to explain. So again, this C ability here, so you hit your V, you'll automatically do the AoE. With your C, it will come up with this part, so it will be called Lightning Soul. Now this is another dot damage ability, so within that area that I was just talking about with V, your C will also be in there. So you hit your V, then press C, and there will be so much damage within this. I'm about to show you in a minute. It's insane. Don't forget, I'm only level 48. I'm not Hongmen. I don't have gear. But you'll see how good it is and how strong it is. If you want to do PvE, you would stick down this side of the tree. It's high damage. It's really strong. But there's no stuns. There's no nothing. If you want to go down the PvP side of things, you would go on this side. The main reason being, if you hit V, then you do your C, it puts them in the groggy, which means it will keep them held in that area for longer, so therefore there's a bigger chance of them getting hit by that lightning. Therefore, rip it in Pepperinos, they're dead. Honestly, it is really, really strong. What I'm going to show you though is the main damage one, just to show you how strong it actually is. So we've got our V ready and we've got our C ready. So basically, as I'll show you now, V, C. So C is doing damage. As you say, it's going to reach the edge. Lightning's going to hit. Damage, 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 damage. More damage. It's very, very, very strong. As you saw then as well around my character, I had blades come out of my character, right? What the blades do is that if you press X, it will give you a protecting soul. So basically, if you press VCX, basically you do the AoE damage on him, and then the X will give you, it'll basically give you like a defensive shield around you. Not only you, but all your allies as well. So if your allies are within that range of the spinning, it will decrease damage taken by 15%. So again, it's very strong. It's a unique ability, especially for your Blade Dancer and your Blade Master. It's very good. You might as well use it. Why not use it, you know? It's very good. So in regards to your other C ability, so basically, instead of using your C, so if you want to do even like a little bit more damage at them, what you can do is you can throw your X, throw your Z. Sorry, your Z will go into the mob or enemy or PvP player, and what that will do, it will recover chi. If you want, it depends how you want to spec it. It will still give you 4 chi, but you can do more damage with it. If you want to go down this side of the tree, that will be the AoE, so it will hit more mobs. So you go down here if you want to do single target with it, and you go on this side if you want to do like the AoE on the mobs. Personally, I wouldn't put any points in this. It's not worth it. It's not good enough damage. It doesn't do enough for you. Yeah, it's not worth it. Personally, I wouldn't bother. Ultimately, that's generally about it by the class. I mean, you have your SS ability. What this does is that you can use your SS whilst in draw stance. SS, if you don't know what that it means, it's just like an evade. You press SS twice and it evades and makes you jump back. It's generally that simple. I mean, the rest of the abilities I've kind of explained. Again, you can put points in a knock up as well. So basically, if you want to knock someone up, what happens? They have to be stunned. So if they're stunned, you can put points into your F ability. Again, in this one, it's got a chance of knocking up 3 enemies. This one just reduces the cooldown, but it will also reduce the chi cost. Again, you can see on here, upward slash can be cast whilst in Phantasmal Blade stance. So if you're in your draw stance, that means your F can be cast whilst in that. Yeah, personally, I wouldn't worry about putting points into that. It's not worth it. Also, under your F tree, going down this side of the tree, this ability, in my opinion, is not worth it. You can do more damage output by using your RB and LB than you can wasting the iframes in this ability. I wouldn't bother. Personally, it's not going to be good enough. Also, this is an ability whilst you're hitting a mob into the air. Yeah, this is not worth it unless you're doing AoE combat. If you're not doing AoE combat, then I would kind of refrain from using this. It's not kind of worth it. Main reason being it's talent point, which we're going to be restricted at 45 anyway. I wouldn't worry about putting points into that. That's not going to be game changing. You're not going to lose a lot of damage. So personally, I wouldn't really advise it. Personally, it's not worth it. So yeah, I'm going to show you like a little combo. It's not going to be the best combo in the world, but I'll show you a combo just to show you what the damage this class can do and how much burst they can do in such a short period of time. So I'll try and explain it as quick as I can. If I make a mistake, I'll do it again, but we'll see how it goes. So first of all, C, blade draw stance, F, F, F. So again, we've got AoE still going. We can still do AoE. We're still doing AoE. So as you can see, the damage is pretty insane. I'm still in the stance. It's very strong. Yeah, it's a strong class, man. I mean, even if you don't have your main abilities and stuff up, you can still deal with a shed ton of damage. At the end of the day, just watch out for this class, guys. Do not underestimate this class in PvP, please, for the love of Christ. If you underestimate them, you're gonna get wrecked in about 2 seconds flat. But ultimately, it's a very good class, guys. That is the guide for Blademaster. I hope it helped. I hope you may have learnt something. If not, I apologise for being an absolute numpty. But ultimately, yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. If you do have any comments, any queries or anything about the Blademaster class, please put your comments below on the YouTube channel, and I'll try and answer them as soon as I can. If you want to watch me live, guys, come and watch me on twitch.tv/iGodRicky, where I'm currently playing in China and waiting desperately for the EU release. So thank you very much, guys. Much love as always. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time for some more Blade and Soul guides. Thank you very much, everybody. Peace.